Hey y'all, this here's Penbar18. Today I'm playing a little Would You Rather. I'm just playing because I've seen other folks play and it looks like fun. And hey, maybe you'll see the insanity that is my brain in this. Alright, would you rather have to kill the animal for any meat you eat, or never eat meat again? That would actually be pretty easy. I would kill them and eat it. I like hunting anyway, and you always kill what you eat. And I mean, if I had to go shoot a cow, bam, doesn't matter. It doesn't say I have to actually process the meat myself. So I can just kill it and send it to somebody else to process it for me and it's all cool. That's no problem at all. It's not like I'm eating pets or something that I have an emotional attachment to. It's like, oh, what cow do I want to eat? That one. Bam. All right, chop it up for me, send it over. That was a pretty easy question. And I'd actually looked at it before I, saw it to think about it, so that's why I could do it right off the bat. What we got next? Would I rather live in a giant peach or live in a giant shoe? Well, I mean, if you're living in a giant peach, I'm assuming it's like James and the Giant Peach versus, I don't remember which nursery rhyme had the giant shoe. I mean, you live in a giant peach, you can actually carve out room space and stuff, versus if you're in a giant shoe, you can't. You just kind of have what's already there. But then again, how giant is it? Because maybe you could carve it into the leather or something. But then again, so I'm inclined to go with the peach because I know you can kind of make it your own. But I feel like a peach is going to eventually decay and rot. So I'm going to go with the shoe. What? Really? Oh, alright. I'm in the minority there. Would you rather only be able to see the world in a shade of red, barely hear people when they speak? Hmm. I already only barely hear people when they... Really? Then again, I also just don't like talking to other people. I'm a little antisocial. Kinda. Sorta. Well, yeah, I'm in the minors there. Would you rather be famous in this lifetime or go down in the history books? I'm definitely going to be in the minority here. I'd rather go down in history. Really, it's a close one. I'd rather go down in history than be famous in this lifetime because when you really think about it, this is a very grim thought process here, but when we die, I mean, who's going to remember us? Our children, our grandchildren, maybe our great grandchildren. After that, we're not going to be anything but, oh, look at this person on our genealogy report. Yeah, they did something. They were a boring office worker. Fuck them. Let's find someone more interesting. It's probably what's going to happen to most of us. Probably me included. Except it'll be more like, that lawyer went batshit crazy. They put him in a straitjacket. That's more than likely what'll be mine. But so, I mean, for the most part, we're going to not be remembered. Within 100 years of our death, our name's going to be completely forgotten by history except for fucking government documents. That's about the only thing. So, I mean, you could be famous, but then you have everybody always running around after you and talking to you and all that kind of stuff. But still, it's only in this lifetime. And maybe if you're famous, you'll last a little bit longer. But since they distinguish between being famous in this lifetime and going down in history books, it makes me think you might be famous, but you're not going to go down in the history book. Because generally, a famous person is going to be in a history book. But this implies that you're not. So, you can either be famous while alive or be remembered forever. And I, for one, would rather be remembered forever. Yes, that's why I picked that one. Would you rather steal an elderly woman's purse? Tell 10 orphans that Christmas is canceled. Well, I abhor stealing. Stealing's terrible. I'm completely against it. And well, orphans' lives are already shit, so why not tell them it's canceled? That's closer than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a lot more stealing an elderly woman's purse. Oh well. All right. Let me try that again. Be the first person to walk on Mars via a one-way trip, never travel to space. Holy fuck, that's easy. Really? only 36% would rather do that. Honestly, I want to be the first person on Mars. I actually do want to be that. When I was little, I wanted to be an astronaut. I have all sorts of books. I knew more about space than most of my teachers. Like until I got to high school, I could out talk and out I could teach the class more than the teachers could about space and things like that. I mean, my teachers even said that to my parents. I love space. I wanted first to be an astronaut or an astronomer, and then even whenever I got into high school and I was like, oh, what should I do when I get out of high school? Engineering. I wanted to do aerospace engineering. And I either wanted to make military shit or I wanted to work at NASA. That was my dream. It's not my dream anymore because I'm no longer an engineering major, but that was my dream. And I would more than, even right now, I don't give a fuck about the rest. I would love to be the first person on Mars. I don't care that I'd never come back. That'd be fucking awesome. So that's why I go that way. And with the one before that, I wouldn't make me famous in this lifetime, but it'd put me in the history books. Would you rather fight a shark with bare arms, fight a bear with shark arms? Well, considering sharks don't have any arms, I'd take my chances with bare arms. 44% of these 545,000 folks are pretty stupid. Because a shark doesn't have any arms. But I mean, we're talking a grizzly bear. Their claws are like fucking razor blades. They could cut you in half with one of them some bitches. So I'd take my chances there. I'd probably still die, but I'd have a fighting chance. Would you rather have arms in proportion to a T-Rex, have a neck in proportion to a Brontosaurus? Well, fuck, what's Brontosaurus? Is that like the Land Before Time little fucker? I don't know. I guess I'd rather have T-Rex arms because it'd be funny as shit. And I'm gonna be a second, folks. I think my food just got here. Alright, folks, I'm back. Got my food. I'm gonna eat it after I'm done with this shit. What was I doing? Oh yeah, T-Rex. I think it'd just be funny. I don't really care either way, so I'll take funny. Would you rather stab yourself in the stomach with a 5-inch blade? Ooh. Cut off the tips of all your own fingers. Okay. I think this will be pretty simple. And the thing says, and I don't think you can say it, whether you live or die is in question, you cannot reattach your fingertips. Is in question or isn't? None says dying in this. Now, it doesn't say exactly where you have to stab yourself in the stomach. I could probably find a way to stab myself that is going to miss any vital organ and not really hurt me that much. Like through the side, just through the fat. And at that point, it's going to hurt like a bitch, but I'll survive it and maybe just have a scar. If you cut off all the tips of your fingers, then you don't have the tips of your fucking fingers. And like if you stab yourself in the stomach, it's a one-shot thing. With your fingers, unless you just have a thing like a saw type contraption, you just stick all your fingers in and it chops them all at once. You gotta cut them one at a time, and that's 10 fucking different cuts, and just get harder. So it is very simple. Say, stab myself. I'm surprised 34% of people went the other way. Y'all are crazy motherfuckers. Oh, okay. If you worked in close proximity to a coworker all day, would you rather they had terrible bad odor? They played your least favorite music on repeat constantly. Huh. I'm going to take the least favorite music. Because, I mean, you can spray stuff to get rid of a smell. But I can just take a baseball bat and smash your fucking computer or radio that's playing the terrible music. And I win. Simple as that. Would you rather drink and drive or smoke and fly? Well, I don't particularly like smoking, and well, I do like drinking. I don't do it often, and I certainly wouldn't drink and drive. Now, does it say drive is the act of actually driving a car. Flying is simply being in a plane. It's like riding in a car. You're flying in a plane. Because if you're actually, in control of the plane, you're a pilot. You're piloting the plane. So, I mean, smoke and fly, I mean, I'm assuming they mean pot. If they're talking about cigarettes, well, who gives a fuck? It's not going to put you in a weird state of mind. But assuming they even mean pot, so it's either get drunk and probably crash, kill someone, go to jail, all that fun stuff, or get high and just fly on a plane. That's pretty simple. And most people agree. Would you rather have a flying car, have 1 terabyte per second internet connection? Well, a flying car would be awesome, but how much gas would that fucking thing use? A lot, I'm assuming. I mean, because it'd have to have some kind of propulsion system to get you to lift, and that would use a lot of gas. You'd probably have to be like Back to the Future type nuclear reaction. I mean, if you can just pour trash in it, it's fine. But it also, I mean, doesn't say the car is like going to get you there any faster. You're just going to fly. And what if everybody else has a flying car? It sucks. If I have a terabyte per second internet connection, geez, that'd be amazing. So I'm going to take that. Really? Huh. Interesting. Next. Would you rather be immortal or die right now? Ooh, this is actually pretty damn tough. Because, see, everybody thinks being immortal would be great. But I challenge you, A, if you think immortal would be being great, I mean, watch the Highlander movies. Like, a lot of things about immortal people, you deal with how much it sucks to be immortal. But if you really want just, like, what made me, after this, never want to be immortal, play the game fucking Lost Odyssey. That shit is crazy and the feels get you hard in it. And it makes you realize that being immortal sucks as you just watch generations of your children and spouses dying off and having to deal with that and never being able to die. And here's the thing. It's not like, it's not just live for a good long while, immortal. Eventually, whether, if you're religious, God coming and the apocalypse happening, or the sun expanding into a red giant and frying the earth, or nuclear war, or whatever, eventually you're going to be the only person left. And if the world's gone, you're just going to be floating through space. And it doesn't say you won't feel pain, so what about when the sun expands into a red giant and consumes the earth? Or even if it doesn't get to the earth, it's so close that it's burning you alive. You're going to be sitting there burning and never being able to die. Or it's gonna just consume the earth, and you're gonna be stuck inside the freaking plasma of the sun at temperatures you can't even imagine, burning but never dying. And then even if you get outside the sun, you're gonna be in the frozen, just vacuum of space. I mean, space is supposed to be cold, close to absolute zero, negative 273-ish degrees Celsius. That shit is fucking cold. You'll be frozen, but still alive, never able to die. Maybe you would eventually, after millions of years, luckily, crash into something else, but you're gonna live a lonely fucking life. So being immortal would suck. And then die right now? Well, I don't know how many folks don't believe in God or anything, but I actually do. So if I was to die right now, I mean, I'd probably spend a long ass time in purgatory, but I'd eventually be in heaven, chilling with all the cool folks. So, I mean, I'd go with die right now. I'd rather not. Only 17%. Y'all 83% have never actually thought about being immortal. I have because, well, I do stuff like that. Alrighty. Would you rather be an excellent singer or a superb writer? Well, for me, I actually saw this when I was messing around with this earlier. I already know what I'd choose. But I mean, if you're an excellent singer, that doesn't necessarily mean you'll become a famous singer. I mean, being a superb writer doesn't mean you'll be a famous writer either. It just says you're good at it. There's a lot of good folks who could sing who ain't famous. Because maybe you can't write music for shit. Maybe nobody likes you. Maybe you don't have a good stage presence. Just being a good singer doesn't make all that shit. Being a writer, on the other hand, even if, I've always wanted to write something. Actually, I wish I was a better writer. I'd write a series of books and stuff like that. Good fantasy shit. It'd be amazing. So obviously, I'm going to pick being a writer, and clearly people aren't going to agree because, well, I don't know. They're just not. Everybody wants to be a famous singer and shit. American Idol, The Voice. Even though, yeah, whatever. But yeah, so I'd rather be a writer. I'd love to just create my own world and characters and stories and then send them out to other folks so they can enjoy my created stories and characters and all that stuff. That's kind of part of the reason why I make YouTube videos, because I'm hoping that somehow, because I'm not at all, somehow, some way, I can be funny enough and make somebody enjoy themselves, because that'd be pretty fucking cool. Would you rather be an elephant or be a mouse? Well, mice only live, do they even generally live a year? And they're tiny, everyone wants to kill them. If you're an elephant, you're a giant motherfucker, and I'm a dude, so it's not like I have the 2-year pregnancy that elephants have. Then there'd be a chick. That'd probably be a good thought on a chick, but, I'm a massive motherfucker. People like me. Humans generally don't want to kill me except maybe for my tusks, but I'm not a, defenseless little fucker. I can gorge you, I can grab you, I could stomp you. I get all my buddies and charge a village and kill a lot of people. I've read that actually happens in India, so, easy. I'd be an elephant. I'm surprised 35% of people would choose to be a mouse. Alrighty, a little bit longer. I'll do 2 more, and then we'll be done. For now. I like doing this. I don't know if anybody's going to watch it, because nobody really watches my videos yet. Maybe eventually, but not yet. Would you rather only be able to laugh at blonde jokes, or not be able to understand sarcasm? Well, this would suck. Laughing at blonde jokes, do people really still make a lot of blonde jokes? That's like I don't even know when that was. That was like a little kid kind of stuff. But not being able to understand sarcasm would be terrible, because I am constantly sarcastic. I don't know if I really am on here or not. I don't really pay that much attention to myself on here, but in real life, I'm the sarcasm king. So much that, like, people I work with, half the time they don't know if I'm being serious or sarcastic. So, I would hate to not be able to understand sarcasm. I would be like Sheldon off of Big Bang Theory. And laughing at blonde jokes would still suck. It doesn't say I wouldn't find things amusing, though. It just says I wouldn't laugh at them. So I could still, inside think it's hilarious. I just couldn't outwardly laugh at it. So I'm going to go with that. Alrighty. Last one. Oh, and this one looks kind of interesting. Would you rather be called out for stupidity or admit stupidity? Well, it's actually not as interesting as I thought it might be. I might do one right after this. Just because this is lame. Okay. Or I'll just keep going and look until I find one I think would be pretty interesting to end with. Would I rather be called out for stupidity or admit stupidity? Well, if I'm admitting it, I'm saying, hey everybody, I'm stupid. If I'm just called out for it, well, nothing says they're truthful. You can call me out for a lot of stuff, doesn't mean you're right. So I'd just rather be called out. Really? Either way, people are going to think you're stupid. 77% of people want to say they're stupid. Only another 23% would actually say, oh yeah, he thinks I'm stupid, but that doesn't mean I am. Whatever. Okay, let's look for an interesting one. I don't know how interesting this one will be, but it'll be at least decent enough to end on. So, would you rather be handcuffed to your worst enemy for life, or be separated from your entire family for life? Well, being handcuffed to your worst enemy would suck. You'd have to deal with them all the time, but you can still see your family. But if you're separated from your entire family, you don't have to deal with your enemy. So, this is pretty easy if you don't like your family. But it kind of, if you're handcuffed to your worst enemy for life, it doesn't say whose life. So if they're your worst enemy, maybe one day they just don't wake up. Maybe. And then you just cut their arm off. Or even maybe you don't have to kill them. Maybe they don't even have to not wake up. Oh, you can't see my little look. Oh, never mind. So maybe they don't even have to not wake up. Maybe just in their sleep, you take a hatchet and you chop their arm off. It clearly doesn't imply that you're handcuffed both arms or something. Just use probably one, like you see in a movie. So you just chop their arm off, pull their hand off. Then, at worst, you have their hand next to you, but you don't got to deal with them. And, that's a pretty simple one to go. It's not like it said you become a Siamese twin with your worst enemy, though that would have been a pretty cool one. Oh, wait, it actually says there is no way to remove the handcuffs. You could not communicate your family. Terrible written sentence, bro. It's just horrible. You could not communicate your family with your family, dumbass. So, I mean, if you don't like your family, it's easy. But for me, it says there's no way to remove the handcuffs. It doesn't mean you can't remove the the enemy. So yeah, 70% of people agree with me. I don't think it's so much they agree that chopping your enemy's hand off and or just killing them. I think it's just they don't want to be separated from their family. I just know I can get the best of both worlds because I don't have to remove the handcuffs. Just the enemy. Alrighty, folks. Well, this is fun. Holy shit, that went way too long. Alright, well, remember to like my videos, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter, all that good shit, and well, deuces, y'all.